You might love your cat more than anything in this world, but that doesn't mean you're doing everything right. In fact, many of the behaviors we think are normal, or even loving, are completely opposite to what cats truly need or understand. You might be unknowingly stressing your cat out every single day, and the scariest part is, they won't warn you. Not in the way you're expecting. According to veterinarian and feline behavior specialist Dr. Nicholas DOESN from Tufts University, cats are extremely sensitive to environment and routine. Even subtle changes can be seen as threats, and what we do, thinking it's love, can be silently read as hostility by them. Let's start with the painful truth. You're picking up your cat the wrong way. That's right. According to veterinarian Mikkel Delgado from the University of California, Davis, very few cats actually enjoy being picked up. They prefer staying grounded. Lifting a cat unnecessarily can create distrust and stress. When you pick them up and they stiffen or start to squirm, that's not cuteness, it's fear. Cats need to feel they have control over their own movement, and when you take that from them, the bond of trust takes a hit, and it doesn't stop there. You're talking to your cat like it's a dog, and that doesn't work. Dogs live to please. They're social beings and are tuned into human language. Cats are different. They're more subtle, more strategic, and they communicate in silent ways. If you ignore a cat's body language, you're basically ignoring its soul, says Jackson Galaxy, cat expert and host of the show My Cat from Hell. They speak with their eyes, tails, breathing, and whiskers. But are you paying attention? Have you ever seen your cat staring at you and slowly blinking? That gesture is called a cat kiss. It's a demonstration of trust and affection, and the best way to respond is by slowly blinking back. Yes, that might sound silly, but it's deeply effective. According to a study published in Nature Scientific Reports, cats are more likely to approach humans who use this type of visual interaction. But what about feeding? Get ready for another uncomfortable truth. Most people are feeding their cats the wrong way. You might be using dry food as your cat's main diet. It's practical, cheap, and sold everywhere. But what you might not know is that dry food was made for human convenience, not for feline health. Cats are obligate carnivores. This means they need animal-based proteins to survive. Dry food contains grains, carbohydrates, and often plant proteins. That means an unbalanced menu that can lead to kidney problems, obesity, and even feline diabetes. Natural feeding, or high-quality, wet food is much closer to what cats would eat in the wild, says veterinary nutritionist Dr. Lisa Pearson. She warns that cats are bad at feeling thirst, so if they only eat dry food, they're chronically dehydrated without realizing it. And that brings us to another very important point. Where is your cat's water located? If you keep the water bowl next to the food, you're doing it wrong again. In the wild, cats avoid drinking water near their food to avoid contamination. They prefer separate sources of water, preferably in motion. Automatic water fountains significantly increase cats' water intake, and that saves kidneys. Let's talk about another common mistake. You think playing with your cat is optional? Nothing could be further from the truth. Playing is essential for a cat's physical and mental well-being. Through play, they simulate hunting, release energy, and reduce frustration. A bored cat is a potentially sick cat, says expert Sarah Ellis, co-author of The Trainable Cat. Here's another myth. You buy expensive toys and your cat ignores them to play with a bottle cap? Of course they do, because for them, play must simulate prey movement. Those static toys, no matter how expensive, mean nothing. The ideal toys are those that move. Feather wands, chasing lights, fluttering ribbons. But remember, you are a part of the play. Without you there, teasing, provoking, moving the toy, it's just a piece of cloth. Now let's talk territory. You're stealing your cat's space without realizing it. Cats live in both horizontal and vertical territory. They love high places because it makes them feel safe and in control of the environment. But do you have shelves, climbing trees, or are you always telling them to get off the furniture? That's pushing them away. Cats don't want to dominate your house. They want to feel secure. And security, for them, means having escape routes, visibility, and hiding spots. If you lock the windows, stop them from climbing, and pick them up against their will, you're dismantling, piece by piece, the trust they place in you. And here's a heartbreaking truth. You might be ignoring your cat's cries for help, but cats don't cry like dogs. They don't bark, they don't throw tantrums instead. They go quiet, they isolate, they stop grooming, they eat less, they stare at the wall. And many owners only notice something is wrong when it's already serious. According to Dr. Tony Buffington, professor of veterinary sciences at Ohio State University, cats are masters of disguise. They evolved to hide pain because in the wild, showing weakness could be fatal. So while you're thinking your cat is just being lazy or moody, he might be suffering. A cat that hides more than usual, stops playing, or becomes aggressive without reason is not being dramatic. He's sending an SOS the only way he knows how. Let's talk litter boxers. Another place where you're probably making a huge mistake. First off, the number one rule. You should have one litter box per cat, plus one extra. So if you have 2 cats, You need 3 boxers. And they shouldn't all be in the same corner. Cats like privacy, and even more, they like options. Placing all litter boxers together defeats the purpose, says feline behaviorist Pam. It's like having 3 toilets in the same stall. Also, stop using scented litter. You may love lavender, your cat might hate it. Cats have an extremely sensitive sense of smell, about 14 times stronger than ours. Met's strong floral fragrance might be suffocating for them. And if you use a closed box, you've just created a tiny gas chamber every time they go inside. It's like being trapped in a smelly prison. The result: they start doing their business elsewhere, and you call it rebellion, but it's survival. And while we're at it, are you punishing your cat? If yes, stop now. Yelling, spraying water, or tapping them on the nose does not work. It only creates fear. Your cat doesn't understand punishment like a dog. He doesn't connect to your scream with the action he did 10 minutes ago. Punishment doesn't teach, it alienates. Punishing a cat is like punishing a shadow, says behavior consultant Marilyn Krieger. It doesn't solve the problem. It just makes the cat afraid of you. Instead, you need to understand the cause. If your cat scratches the couch, it's not out of spite. It's instinct. He needs to mark territory, stretch muscles, and shed nail sheaths. So what do? Give alternatives, scratching posts, cat trees, sisopads, and praise him when he uses them. Redirect the behavior. Don't fight nature. Let's address affection. And here's a heartbreaking truth. You might be ignoring your cat's cries for help, but cats don't cry like dogs. They don't bark. They don't throw tantrums. Instead, they go quiet, they isolate, they stop grooming, they eat less, they stare at the wall. And many owners only notice something is wrong when it's already serious. According to Dr. Tony Buffington, professor of veterinary sciences at Ohio State University, cats are masters of disguise. They evolved to hide pain because in the wild, showing weakness could be fatal. So while you're thinking your cat is just being lazy or moody, he might be suffering. A cat that hides more than usual, stops playing, or becomes aggressive without reason is not being dramatic. He's sending an SOS the only way he knows how. Let's talk litter boxers. Another place where you're probably making a huge mistake. First off, the #1 rule. You should have 1 litter box per cat, plus 1 extra. So if you have 2 cats, you need 3 boxers. And they shouldn't all be in the same corner. Cats like privacy, and even more, they like options. Placing all litter boxers together defeats the purpose, says feline behaviorist Pam. It's like having 3 toilets in the same stall. Also, stop using scented litter. You may love lavender, your cat might hate it. Cats have an extremely sensitive sense of smell, about 14 times stronger than ours. Met's strong floral fragrance might be suffocating for them. And if you use a closed box, you've just created a tiny gas chamber every time they go inside. It's like being trapped in a smelly prison. The result: they start doing their business elsewhere, and you call it rebellion, but it's survival. And while we're at it, are you punishing your cat? If yes, stop now. Yelling, spraying water, or tapping them on the nose does not work. It only creates fear. Your cat doesn't understand punishment like a dog. He doesn't connect to your scream with the action he did 10 minutes ago. Punishment doesn't teach, it alienates. Punishing a cat is like punishing a shadow, says behavior consultant Marilyn Krieger. It doesn't solve the problem. It just makes the cat afraid of you. Instead, you need to understand the cause. If your cat scratches the couch, it's not out of spite. It's instinct. He needs to mark territory, stretch muscles, and shed nail sheaths. So what do? Give alternatives, scratching posts, cat trees, sisopads, and praise him when he uses them. Redirect the behavior. Don't fight nature. Let's address affection. Let's now talk about routines. Cats crave consistency. It's not just about food and litter box placement, it's about the entire rhythm of your home. Your cat thrives on predictability. He wants to know when the sun rises, when meals happen, when the doors open, when the lights turn off. Every sudden change you make, loud music, visitors, furniture rearrangements, late feedings, they all echo in your cat's mind like earthquakes, because in the feline world, routine means safety and safety means survival. Cats are the ultimate control freaks, says Dr. Carlos Saracusa, a veterinary behaviorist at the University of Pennsylvania. And when that control is disrupted, their stress response kicks in. That stress doesn't always show as panic. Sometimes it shows as vomiting or hiding. Or peeing on your bed. Yes, let's talk about that. If your cat is urinating outside the litter box, don't get angry, get curious. A cat who pees in your laundry, your bed, your shoes. He's not trying to get revenge. He's desperately trying to tell you something. Maybe the box is dirty. Maybe the litter type changed. Maybe he's sick. Feline lower urinary tract disease, or flooded, is one of the most painful conditions a cat can face, and one of the most silent, the only sign. Sometimes, is that sudden puddle on your sofa. If you punish him for that, you've just punished pain. So the next time it happens, don't raise your voice. Call a vet, and let's be honest, how often do you take your cat to the vet anyway? You may think he's fine because he seems fine, but cats are experts at hiding illness. That's their evolutionary armor. By the time you see signs like weight loss, lethargy, poor coat, hiding the condition might be advanced. According to the American Association of Feline Practitioners, only about half of cat owners take their cats to the vet regularly. And many only go when something is clearly wrong. Compare that to dogs, and it's a huge disparity. Why? Because cats hate carriers, hate cars, hate waiting rooms. But here's the thing, they don't hate it. They fear it because it's unfamiliar, because you didn't train them for it. Yes, cats can be trained. They can learn to enter carriers voluntarily, to tolerate car rides, even to sit still during exams. You just need patience and treats and time. Start by making the carrier part of your home. Leave it open. Put soft bedding inside, place treats or toys there. Let your cat claim it once it smells familiar, once it feels safe. It becomes less of a trap and more of a refuge. This small effort could save your cat's life. Because regular checkups, early blood tests, routine dental care, these are the invisible walls that protect your silent companion. And while we're talking health, let's address weight. Your cat is probably overweight. It's harsh, but statistically accurate. According to the Association for Pet Obesity Prevention, over 60% of cats in the United States are overweight or obese. And it's not just about looks, it's about heart disease, diabetes, joint pain, shorter lifespans. You might think he's fluffy or well-fed, but ask yourself, is he active? Does he groom all areas of his body? Can you feel his ribs gently under the skin? If not, it's time for a change. Free feeding. Leaving food out all day. It's one of the most damaging habits in modern cat ownership. It creates boredom eating, overconsumption, and most of all, removes the hunt-to-prey dynamic that cats crave. Feeding scheduled, measured meals using puzzle feeders or food toys that turns mealtime into stimulation, into enrichment, into joy. Because your cat doesn't just want food, he wants to earn it, stalk it, catch it, even if it's just pretend. And speaking of pretending, let's revisit play. You probably stop too soon. Most people play with their cats for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then get bored. But real hunting, real stimulation takes time. Jackson Galaxy recommends the hunt. Catch, kill, eat, groom, sleep cycle, play intensely. Let them catch the toy, feed them right after, then let them rest. This mimics what they evolved to do. A tired cat is a happy cat, but a cat with no outlet, no challenge, no goal becomes anxious, restless, sometimes even aggressive. So make time every single day, morning or night. Even if it's just 15 minutes, commit to it, as if it were medication, because it is mental medication for a wild soul, trapped in a quiet apartment. And lastly, let's destroy a myth that's been haunting cats for decades. Cats are independent and don't need attention. That is a lie. Cats form deep attachments. They miss their humans. They get lonely. They grieve. They sit by the door. They cry silently. They sleep in your laundry to smell you, your presence, your voice, your hand. They matter more than you know. So don't just feed the cat and walk away. Sit down. Look into his eyes. Talk. Play. Be still with him, because he might be the only soft moment in his day. So now you've seen the truth. It's not that you don't love your cat. It's that love without knowledge can become harm wrapped in good intentions. You wanted to hold him, but he needed space. You fed him what was easy, but he needed what was natural. You yelled because you were frustrated, but he needed comfort. You gave toys, but forgot to give your time. And now here he is, sleeping in the corner, back turned. Not because he hates you, but because he's waiting, hoping that one day you'll understand his language. And when you do, when you finally see the silent pain, the subtle joy, the hidden needs, then your relationship will change forever, because cats are not just pets. They're mirrors. They reflect how we live, how we listen, how we slow down. A cat doesn't rush, doesn't beg, doesn't chase your validation. But he watches, waits, until the day he decides, this person is mine. When that moment comes, you won't hear it, you'll feel it. A soft paw on your chest, a slow blink, a tail that wraps around your arm, a purr that vibrates into your bones. That is the reward of respect. It doesn't come with training. It comes with transformation. You have to become someone worthy of a cat's trust. And when you do, you will never go back. Because once a cat truly chooses you, you are no longer just a caretaker, you are a family. So take this knowledge, this truth, and look around your home tonight. Does your cat have a high place to climb? Fresh water far from the food bowl? A place to hide that's not under the bed? Does he get to play, to hunt, to sleep in peace? Do you know the name of his favorite toy? Or which room he feels safest in? Do you see him? Really see him? Or is he just the shadow walking across your hallway waiting for you to open your eyes? Because if you've made mistakes, you're not alone. We all have. No one is born understanding the mind of a cat. It takes humility, curiosity, and time. But the beauty of a cat is that forgiveness is possible, not through apologies, but through change. So tomorrow, wake up a little earlier. Sit near him without reaching out, watch, wait. And when he looks at you and blinks slowly, blink back and whisper, I'm learning. That's all he needs. That's all he's ever wanted, not perfection, just presence. And from that moment, everything will start to shift. The fear, the distance, The silence, they will melt into something deeper, stronger, real. You and your cat, two souls, learning to live together not by force, but by choice. Because now you know. You were doing it wrong, but you don't have to anymore. This is your second chance, and trust me, your cat has been waiting for it. If this video opened your eyes, and you're ready to connect with your cat on a deeper level, then you need to see what happens when we bring 10 misunderstood cats together in one home, and watch them transform from fear to friendship. From strangers to soulmates, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Until the next video.